So, you just completed Seasonal for the first time, and now you're left wondering how to progress your gear further. No worries. Today I'm going to show you how to take your gear from a Tuvala Timmy to something like this. With that being said, the real journey begins now though. So, welcome to Black Desert Online. My name's Shino, and this is my Jatina pen guide. So you've graduated your seasonal character, you've got all of your gear to Pen Tuvala, and you've even got your free pen capoches that you're able to get from Fugar here. You're probably wondering what to do next. No worries, I'm going to run through all the detailed information of what you need to do in order to do your Jatina guaranteed pens. But before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know that 99.2% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, and it would mean a lot to me, guys, if you enjoy the content to please drop subscribe, as I'm currently trying to reach 1K subs. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need to make your way to Jetina. Jetina is located in every one of the major cities throughout the entire world of Black Desert Online. Now, if you're unaware of how to find Jatina in the nearest city that you are, because, for example, let's say you're only ever in Heidel or Velia, all you're going to have to do is select the Find NPC option here, located in the top right of your screen, right next to your minimap. Now, the Find NPC option is a useful tool. It will take you to the nearest NPC for specific things in the town that you're at, even if you're not in a town. Or you can come down here to the Search Find NPC option, as you can see I've done here for Jatina, and you can type in the NPC's name. Now, this will go ahead and give you a highlighted ping on where that NPC is, and then all you'll have to do from here is either press T or follow the trail. As you can see here, it gives you a direct link to the exact location of the NPC, as in Jatina is right next to Izaro, the stable keeper inside of Heidel. Now, before you do this, I highly recommend completing the Cry for Help quest that you get after hitting level 56. This makes it to where you'll be able to go in and do your Old Moon Guild support, which is going to be for your Jatina accessories. As you can see right here, I've done the Crescent Rings. Those are the only ones you should be choosing, is the Crescent Ring. Anything else, we will make fun of you. Now, if you were unable to find the quest to Cry for Help, make sure you open up your quest menu by pressing O on your keyboard. From here, you're going to look at the very bottom on the quest type bar and make sure that this big square surrounded by 4 other smaller squares is selected. If it's not selected, just go ahead and check it on, and then you should be able to see every quest that's in the game. If you are unable to see the quest, it's more than likely just because you haven't met the requirements. Don't worry, you'll get there eventually. Now, after you complete that quest, you're going to go talk to your Black Spirit and look for the quest Pen Boss Gear, the Old Moon Guild's Best Deals. Once you complete that quest, you should be able to come over to Jatina and talk to her and get the quests Old Moon Resplendent Armor, Old Moon Resplendent Gloves, Old Moon Resplendent Weapon, things of that nature. In regards to the weapon, make sure that you select Kudum, as you will be given a free Pen Blackstar eventually, as well as a free Tet Blackstar. I'll go over more of those here in a little bit. Now, in regards to the Old Moon Armor, please make sure that you only select the Red Nose Armor. If you select the Dim Tree Armor, you're just trolling yourself. You're going to make your endgame progression so much harder because it's going to take more Kafirs in order to get to Kafirs level 10. Just do yourself a favor, save yourself the work, and make sure that you select the Red Nose Armor. So now that you've got your armors and weapons, you're ready to start creating your Reform Stones. Now, first off, I'm going to tell you how you actually create your Reform Stones, and then I'm going to touch on all the materials that you're going to need to create a Reform Stone 1 all the way through Reform Stone 5. So first off, you're going to press L on your keyboard to open up your processing window, and then you're going to select Heating. Once you have all your materials, you're going to insert them all inside of this tab, and it's going to create your armor and weapon Reform Stones. I'm going to go ahead and put the amount that you're going to need for every single one of them on the screen here, but in total, you're going to be needing to collect 150 concentrated magical blackstones, 200 magical shards, 1,000 memory fragments, and 360 concentrated boss crystals for each stone 1 through 5. This isn't going to be all of them, but this is the amount total that it's going to need to create one stone to go from Reform Stone level 1 to Reform Stone level 5. Okay, now that we've covered all the materials that you'll need, let me show you how you need to get some of those materials in order to create your Resplendent Armor and or weapon reform stones. Now, to start things off, we're going to start with the concentrated magical blackstone, which is going to be simply just combining sharp black crystal shards with blackstone using the L tab for the processing window. If you just press L on your keyboard, it'll open up the processing window. You will select heating, and then you just throw these two in, and then click start. Once it's done, you got your stone. Now for the next item, we're going to go ahead and cover the magical shards. So in order to get the magical shards, you will need yellow grade crystals, or you can take the shortcut and just use the sealed black magical crystals. You can press L again, throw them in there, and hit start, and it will just start going through. And the bonus to doing this versus opening the crystals is it's going to just melt all of them down versus having to go through and only melt certain ones down, because if you open them, they are going to be different crystals. So just keep them in the sealed state and then go ahead and melt them from there. It's going to be the quickest way to go about doing this. Now I'm going to touch on the section for your Jatina accessory. I'm going to show you guys real quick how you can get your Yona fragments. So whenever you come into here, as you can see here, you also need magical shards and black stones in order to go through and do the Jatina accessory progress. But the only other two things that are different from this versus going through and doing the pen weapons is you're going to need the Old Moon Catalyst, and you're going to need Yona fragments. So by far, if I remember correctly, the most cost efficient item in order to get your Yona fragments is going to be Orkenrad's belt. If I remember correctly, it's a 7-to-9 ratio, but I could be wrong on that. I'll put it up on the screen if I am, and I will put the proper rates on there. But all you're going to do is go ahead and melt these down. Okay, now that we've finished up, as you can see, we got 7, 7, 8, 8, 7. Maybe we were unlucky and just didn't get the max proc. Either way, you get 7 to 8 of them from doing this, and it's only 9 mil a piece. So it's going to make going through and getting all of your Jonas fragments a lot cheaper than what it should be, because you're going to need 5, 15, 20, 30, and 110. I'm going to be putting the max totals for everything that you need at the end of this video, and then give you the max cost that it's going to be to get all of these done. Now for the rings, it's going to be doubled, because you are going to be going for 2 rings, and the armors and stuff like that are going to go based off of how many times you're going to do this, because the price for doing this does change. It gets a little bit more expensive because you need certain materials in excess. The next items that we're going to be touching on is going to be your concentrated boss aura. So the concentrated boss aura, you can make it yourself, or it's going to cost you about roughly 1 billion silver. And the reason why I say it's going to cost you roughly 1 billion silver, because you need 30 concentrated boss aura, and the easiest way to get that is through buying a tri-boss armor or boss weapon off of the central marketplace. But if you want to go ahead and make it yourself, hey, go for it. Once you get that, you're going to come over and select Simple Alchemy. You're going to throw in the Tri-Armor and start processing through that, and then it's going to give you the Concentrated Boss's Aura. Now, the Concentrated Boss Aura, you're only going to need, I think, once per armor piece. Let me double check here. Yeah, you're only going to need it once per stone, and that's going to be for your Resplendent Stone 5. That's going to be your final one that's going to make that piece of gear pen. The other ones that you are going to need is going to be memory fragments. So you can come to the marketplace and look up memory fragments, and you can buy them off of here. This is going to be a little bit expensive. Or if you have a group of friends that you're playing with, you can also run scrolls written in ancient language, or you can run ancient relic scrolls, things of those nature. The reason why I suggest doing it in a group, because you guys can actually run through and do multiple scrolls at a time, which is going to get you more memory fragments as a whole. The first way that you're able to obtain your concentrated boss crystals is by defeating Dark Rift bosses. If you're uncertain on how to find the Dark Rift boss, all you have to do is click the icon down at the bottom, and then select the downward arrow next to the Dark Rift boss that you're wanting to fight. Upon defeating the Dark Rift boss, you will end up getting a bunch of rewards, but the main ones we're focusing on for today are going to be the Latent Aura and the Concentrated Boss Crystals. You're also able to do world bosses as well as field bosses in order to get your Concentrated Boss Crystals and your Latent Boss Aura, as well as many other rewards. Once you do that, you're also able to go to Jetina once a week for a weekly quest called Imperfect Beings, where all you have to do is turn in 2 Latent Auras, and she'll give you 155 Concentrated Boss Crystals. This is going to make your entire process of getting all these crystals much faster. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up those pens. We're going to touch on the last two items that you're going to need to complete your weapon and armors. So what you're going to do is you're going to talk with Cloud, the Old Moon manager here in Velia, and then go to the Old Moon shop. Really quick, the Old Moon Alchemy Catalyst is what you're going to need to complete your Jatina accessories. So just buy as many of these as it says that you need on that Jatina accessory UI. Whenever it comes to the Aquila piece of the Old Moon, these are the items that I mentioned earlier that are going to increase in the amount that you need depending on how many pens you've completed. So for the pen weapon to get the Aquila Sky Crystal, you're only going to need 30. But whenever it comes to your armors, you're going to need 80 to get your first Aquila Earth Crystal. You're going to need 120 to get your second Aquila Earth Crystal. And you're going to need 160 to get your third Aquila Earth Crystal. So now I'm going to touch back on the free TET Blackstar and the free pen Blackstar that I mentioned at the very beginning of this video. Now they do have a set requirement that you have to complete. For the TET Blackstar, you need to complete the main quest of Medaya Apocalyptic Prophecy, the main Everfrost quest, Beyond Doors of Elieli. I think I said that right. Complete the Land of the Morning Light quest, complete the simplified main quest, and Fugar's chapter 11. That falls under the same category. I would strongly suggest the TET Blackstar that you end up getting being the opposite of what you play. If you are playing Succession, then you are going to get the TET Blackstar Awakening weapon. If you play Awakening, then you're going to be getting the TET Blackstar main hand. The reason why I say this is because you're going to want the pen Blackstar for whichever form of spec that you play, because it's going to give you the most AP, which is going to mean those brackets are actually going to matter, plus it's actually going to be what you're using. Then down with the free pen weapon, over here, again, it's just complete the main Medaya quest line, the main Everfrost quest line, and the Land of the Morning Light quest line, and the Fugar's chapter 11 quest. Once you get this done, go ahead and select whichever weapon for the spec that you play. I personally play Succession, but I already had my pen Blackstar before this came out, so I just went ahead and got it again. That way I could use it for whenever Sovereign comes out, but that's not even something that you need to worry about. I hope this guide made your journey through your Jatina gear a lot easier, and I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, feel free to drop a subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. If you ever want to catch me live, I do stream on Twitch. This week I will be not streaming through the rest of the week because I'll be doing a special stream for my birthday on July 20th. So if you want to come hang out with us, feel free. Take it easy, guys.